So there are examples where the federal government has stepped in to provide the incentives to push back on the evolution of society or culture that had ended up where women were not given the same opportunities. Women were treated separately. Women had automatic bias that prevented them from being able to be a part of the economy or jobs or society in general. So Title IX is one great example. The federal government said, and the details aren't important, but essentially what they said was, if you're going to be receiving funding from us, there must be a better formula that allows for sports at your schools, public schools, to have a near equal mix of men and women, young boys and young girls, to be able to participate. What that meant was girls who were not participating in sports or teams, or maybe their school was not providing it at school, now we're forced to decide between, well, we've got all these programs for our boys, but very little for our girls, and the funding requirements now require us to do more for girls. So we created girls' soccer teams. We created more teams that allowed girls to participate. It came at a cost. There were plenty of boys' teams that were cut. Wrestling programs were downsized. Volleyball teams for men were cut. And in the process, people complained. And they said that the short-term gains did not outweigh the benefits of whatever would happen long-term. But luckily, we made it to the long-term. And now we have a situation where men and women's sports programs worldwide, especially in the United States, are now more competitive. But most importantly, those girls who are participating on an equal level with their male peers are getting the equipment, they're getting the coaching, they're getting the opportunity to do what is most important, which is teamwork, which is getting out, which is being in leadership positions, which is being a part of competition, which is breaking every mold of what society said 40, 50, or 60 years ago about what girls were supposed to do or what boys were supposed to do. And Title IX is an example of that. So going forward in the future, it may take many different versions and may take many forms, but if we're going for a way to make sure that we don't make it so that men fall behind, we're not making it so that the average white male somehow loses in society. It's quite the opposite. We're trying to set the condition so everybody else catches up. So that whether we're talking about women or people of color or disabilities or whatever it is that for so long white men have had the natural advantage in because of the way the laws were written or society was structured or culture was divided, those men aren't falling behind. It's just everybody else is catching up. And if I can be a part of allowing everyone else to catch up, regardless of gender, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of skin color, I think that's a great place for America to be because it's been a part of our experiment from the very beginning.